Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katie, I am the Introverted Reader. First of all, sorry about the lack of videos as of late. I didn't do one over the weekend just because I couldn't really think of what to do, and if I was being honest, I had things to do and time got away from me. But anyway, we're back here, and yes, I just have a cute little book tag to do, so let's hydrate. Let's hydrate and do this tag. So this tag I found on ZZ with Books blog, and this is created by ZZ themselves. I'm not sure of pronouns, but this is the DNF book tag. It was created this year, so I'll try and leave a link to the blog in the description, but knowing me, I'll probably forget. So anyway, so this is the DNF book tag where we talk about books that we've DNF'd or thought about DNFing and so on and so forth. So the first question, simple enough. How many have you DNF'd any books so far this year? If so, how many? I did an entire video about books that I've DNF'd as of lately. I named about 10 of them in that video. A lot that comes off the top of my head is I DNF'd City of Dusk. I DNF'd City of Dusk by Tara Sim. I DNF'd Kate in Waiting by Becky Albertalli. I DNF'd a whole bunch. So go watch that video if you want to know how many. I couldn't tell you altogether how many. I only named about 10 in that video. But you know, thus far. So, question number 2, has your tendency to DNF books changed over the years? If so, in what ways? Yes, I definitely would say it has definitely changed, because I used to make myself push through a book to the very end, because in my stupid head I would be thinking, oh, what if it gets better? Oh, it's not fair, like, you've already started, you may as well finish. No. I did this last year. I think I only recently started doing this, but like last year and then into this year, I was just like, you know what, I'm done. I'm absolutely done doing that to myself, because it turns reading the book into almost something like a chore or something that I have to do, as opposed to something that I'm meant to be enjoying doing. Do you know what I mean? And like, that's not fair. I want to be able to enjoy my reading experience, and if I'm not enjoying it, then I've just learned to just give up. Just give up, because what's the point? Question 3. What's a major reason you DNF a book? If I'm bored. Honestly, if I am bored, if I'm confused, if I find myself zoning out, if I start to yawn. This is a big thing. This sounds really random, but if I get really bored, I start getting really sleepy. And then, especially if I'm reading a book, if I start yawning, then I'm like, you're making me sleepy. If a book's making me want to fall asleep, then we have to get rid. That is the main reason. Another would be if I'm really confused as to what's happening in the book, and I don't like that. Like, I've done that before with like TV shows as well. Like, if I'm really confused about what's happening in a book or a TV show, I end up just not finishing it. So let me know some of your answers to these questions in the comments. Hold on, that was question 3. So question 4, do you find that you're more likely to DNF a certain format or genre more than others, or that it depends on how the book came to your attention, i.e. selecting it yourself rather than being recommended? But oh, interesting question. Honestly, I've DNF'd plenty of books within plenty of formats. It doesn't matter what format the book is in. I've DNF'd at least 2 or 3 audiobooks in the past month or so. You know, and with my on my Kindle as well, you know, I primarily tend to read romance novels as of lately on my Kindle, and I've DNF'd a few of those, definitely. And like, it doesn't matter format or genre, in my opinion. Like, I don't go near genres I know I'm not going to enjoy anyway. So yeah, no, it doesn't matter. I'm not really more likely to, like, if it doesn't matter. If I'm not enjoying it, then I'm not enjoying it. Question number 5. Was that number 5? Yeah. What book did you give up on after reading a few pages, like 10 pages or less? Rise to the Sun by Leah Johnson. I think I only read the first 2 chapters, which wasn't 10 pages or less, but it was maybe like less than 20 pages, maybe like the first 15-ish pages or something like that. And yeah, read the first 2 chapters and was like, nope. I DNF Babel after just 1 chapter, but I don't think that first chapter was 10 pages. I mean, in the audiobook, it was over an hour long, and it's like, what the hell is this? Why is the first chapter over an hour long, I ask you? Let me see. Question number 6. What book did you give up on even though you were close to the end? Even though I was close to the end. Ray Bear by Jordan Afueco. I think I had maybe less than 100 pages or so before I got to the end of that. And in the end, I just gave up because, again, bored, confused, not enjoying it, overly complicated for no reason. Yeah. What book did you stop reading because you simply lost interest or were no longer in the mood? So question 7. What did I stop reading simply because I lost interest? Nearly every book that I have read or that I mention in the books I've DNF recently video, pretty much, it's not that any of them are bad. It's not that any of them are bad books. It's just, yeah, I just wasn't interested anymore. I wasn't interested anymore in reading Ariadne, even though I do enjoy a Greek myth retelling. Don't get me wrong, I love them, but yeah, that was just, I just got really bored and lost interest. Number Question 8. Sorry, these questions aren't numbered. What book did you stop reading or nearly stopped reading because the characters were unlikable or unbearable? The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. It's a romance novel, and we got the perspectives of the 2 main people. The main guy I liked okay. He was fine. But the main girl got on my nerves from the get-go. And if I'm being honest, the way the relationship was being developed and the way the relationship basically came about, or, I just wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of the way that was done. Question 9. What book did you stop reading because an element of the book or the entire book irritated the shit out of you? What book did I stop reading because it irritated the shit out of me? I mean, again, I don't have any animosity towards any of the books I DNF. Like, they're all perfectly fine. They just weren't for me. But one that really annoyed me that I thought I was going to thoroughly enjoy was, well, 2, actually. City of Dusk by Tara Sim and Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. Honestly, the fact that I'm just angry all round when it comes to Legends and Lattes, if I'm being honest, mostly because everybody was comparing it to TJ Klune. And the thing is, I realize cozy fantasy is cozy fantasy. Not much goes on. And it's mainly about the characters and the journey they're going on. But those characters were flat as do you know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't relate. I just couldn't get into it at all. What book did you stop reading because you hit or were in a reading slump? I stopped. A lot of books that I've DNF'd are a lot of books that I DNF'd, particularly like Ariadne or this is going back a while ago, but Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang, don't at me. I realized the Poppy War is amazing. I read the first book in its entirety, and I gave Poppy War 5 stars. But Dragon Republic was way too long. I'm sorry. It got really, really slow in the middle there. And I was just like, okay, RF Kwan, we could have shaved off a little bit here. We could have cut all of this. Like, it felt like a never-ending montage. And I was like, this is fine. I get it. You know, you want to talk about the tragedies and everything that's going on. And I understood all of that. I get that. But at the same time, I was like, can we just... Because we've been sitting... I just felt like we were sitting and not moving. And that irritated me. And I kind of felt like I would have hit a slump had I continued on. So it wasn't because I hit a slump. I DNF'd it because I felt like if I kept going, I would have been in Slumpsville, and that's not fun. I don't even know what number of question this is. I've lost count. But the next question after that is, what book did you expect not to like and or DNF but ended up completing and liking? Right, I have 2 for this. The first one is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Now, I read the Caraval series by her years ago, and I thought that was fine. It was okay. A lot of people said it reminded them of the Night Circus, and I didn't like the Night Circus. But then Once Upon a Broken Heart, I was like, no, I'm not sure. I'll give it a try. Seems fun, seems fine. I devoured that book. I devoured it. It's sitting here on my shelf, tabbed and annotated to filth. Like, I love it so much. And Shatter Me, going back even further, I read that in 2018. You know, I was an adult. I changed. My reading taste had changed over the years. It's old school, young adult. You know, lots of people read it when they were teenagers. And I hadn't, you know. So I was like, I remember looking at it and thinking, I'm going to DNF that. Or I'm going to absolutely hate it and give it the worst review possible. I love Shatter Me. I love it. It's one of my favorites. I have the Fairyloot editions of the trilogy back here behind me. Like, I adore it. And it completely knocked me flat. Right. Next one. Conversely, what book did you expect to love but ended up neither liking nor finishing? Oh, well, I really wanted to like City of Dusk. I really wanted to love Legends and Lattes. I really wanted to... Okay. Now, I realize this is the DNF book tag, but one book that I really wanted to love a lot was Somewhere Beyond the Sea. I've read that in its entirety, and I don't know if the next question after this is going to be, what book did you, you know, an opposite of the next one. Let me see. Oh, no, it's okay. I really wanted to love Somewhere Beyond the Sea. I did complete it all, but I feel like I wouldn't have bat an eyelash had I DNF'd. I considered DNFing while I was reading that, if I'm being completely real. But, you know, is what it is. I'll not get into it. Right, next question. What book did you give up on because it was a case of wrong book at the wrong time? I don't really think I've ever had that experience of reading wrong book at the wrong time. Maybe I have, and I just can't remember. But, you know, a lot of times, what book did I give up on because it was a case of wrong book at the wrong time? I genuinely couldn't tell you. I don't know if I've ever had an experience of that, if I'm being real. What book did you read because of the hype, but you DNF'd? Now, the person that created this said Fourth Wing, and I'm like, that's hilarious. So what book did I read because of the hype, but I DNF'd? Babel. I didn't even read. But I only got 1 chapter in, realized it wasn't for me, and then goodbye. What book did I realize wasn't for me? Or because of the hype? Because of the hype. Legends and Lattes is another one. I know I mentioned that numerous times, but so many people on this platform and beyond were talking about how great that book was. And yeah, So that's that. And what books did you DNF but would like to give another try? Honestly, as of lately, I have slowly but surely considered picking up the Poppy War trilogy again. It's don't be getting excited. Don't be getting excited because that's a really big if, Deborah. That's a really, really big if. Because I did love the Poppy War, and even though the Dragon Republic got slow in the middle there, I don't know, maybe. It's a really, really big maybe. Yeah, that's probably the only one that I would probably even consider giving another chance. And maybe Ariadne, maybe again, a really big maybe. If I got the audiobook for her, would it work out even better? Like, or maybe I'll try another one of Jennifer Saint's books. I don't know. Next question. What new release this year or previous were you curious about but lost interest in? Oh, have I read any new releases as of lately? But lost interest in. I guess I'll say Force Wing. I've given up on that series, but not because I didn't like the book, just because the author. If you know, you know. Um, so we're not interested in her anymore. We don't talk about her anymore. What classic novels have you DNF'd? Oh, here we go. Dracula. I give him 2 chances, and both times was like watching beige paint dry. I'm so frustrated because everybody was like, oh, it's one of the greatest Gothic classics ever. It's so good. No. Don't open that door on me. And Emma by Jane Austen. I ended up giving my copy to my sister. Yes, we DNF'd Emma because Boresville. So there's that. And is this the last one? Oh, next one. What book did you read and like but learned of through someone's negative but what book did you read and like but learned of through someone's negative /DNF review of it? Oh, that is an interesting question. I don't want to say Fourth Wing again. But it's honestly true. A lot of people were reading that and loving it. A lot of people were reading it and hating it. I picked it up just to see what the crack was, and I ended up actually really loving it. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about her anymore. That's the last time, I promise. What book did you DNF but think would have worked better in a different medium? Oh, what book did I think would work in a... Well, Emma already has a movie adaptation. So, yeah. So I guess I'll just watch the Anna Taylor-Joy version of her. So yeah, I'll just say Emma. Okay. Sorry. And the last question. Do you review books you DNF? Not full reviews on Goodreads. Like, if I've DNF'd a book, obviously, in my wrap-up videos, if I have DNF'd a certain book that I've read that month, then I will gladly tell you guys about it, you know? I will gladly tell you guys all about it and my reasons as to why, but I don't write full reviews of them on Goodreads. And if it's a book club pick, then I don't make a video about it. I just choose something else and go with that. So yes, that is the DNF book tag. I hope you enjoyed. I'll leave a link to the book blogger that I got this from down in the description. And if you want to answer any of the questions, feel free to, let me know. What books have you DNF'd this year? How do you go about DNFing? What contributes to a DNF in your book? Let me know. So yeah, I will leave all of my socials down below as always. My Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and I got Blue Sky as well. I'll leave that down there. If any of you have it, you can follow me on there if you want. I haven't posted anything on there yet, but yeah. So there's that. And on my TikTok, there's important videos on there concerning Palestine and the Congo, so please interact with them as much as you can. I'm not looking for a follow, but just interact with them as much as you can. That would really, really help. Use the filters, use the audios, do the whole thing. And I'm also selling some K-pop albums too, and if nobody buys them, they'll be going to a charity shop. But Stray Kids concert tickets go on sale next week, so if any of you want to help a gal out, that'd be great. Anyway, so subscribe if you haven't already, ring the bell, and I'll see yous in my next video. Bye.